Welcome to How to Win Friends and Influence People, a book that has stood the test of time, helping millions of people master the art of human connection. Imagine being able to walk into any room, confident that you can connect with anyone, inspire cooperation, and build meaningful relationships. Sounds powerful, right? Dale Carnegie's masterpiece is exactly about that. First published in 1936, the lessons inside this book remain as relevant today as they were nearly a century ago. In this book, Carnegie isn't just teaching you how to win people over. He's unlocking the secret to understanding human nature and mastering the skills that make people like you, trust you, and want to work with you. So, whether you're in business, social circles, or just trying to improve personal relationships, the principles Carnegie shares are like tools you can use to sharpen your social intelligence. It's about connecting with people on a deeper level. And spoiler alert, the key isn't about being a smooth talker. It's about being a great listener and showing genuine interest. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. Chapter 1. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Have you ever tried to offer someone feedback only to have them bristle and shut down? It happens all the time. Carnegie kicks off the book with a golden rule. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. While it's tempting to point out what's wrong, criticism only puts people on the defensive. Instead, Carnegie shows us that understanding is the real power. When we approach people with empathy, we open doors for deeper conversations, cooperation, and growth. Actionable takeaways. Criticism often backfires. Instead of tearing people down, try understanding their perspective. Offer encouragement rather than complaints. A simple shift in approach can lead to better results. Chapter 2. The Big Secret of Dealing with People. Here it is, the big secret that Carnegie has been waiting to reveal. People want to feel important. Think about it. In any conversation, who are you most likely to listen to? The person who values your opinion or the one who dismisses it? The answer is obvious. Carnegie suggests that you can win people over by simply acknowledging their worth and showing genuine appreciation. Actionable takeaways. People love feeling valued. Acknowledge them sincerely and you'll earn their trust. Simple, heartfelt compliments can go a long way. Make sure they're authentic. Chapter 3. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. In this chapter, Carnegie drops a bombshell. The key to successful relationships is showing interest in others. It's not about talking about yourself all the time. It's about genuinely caring about other people's lives, experiences, and passions. Everyone loves talking about themselves, so let them. Actionable takeaways. People love talking about themselves. Ask questions that let them share their passions. Practice the art of active listening. People will feel closer to you and your connections will deepen. Chapter 4. An easy way to become a good conversationalist. Ever been in a conversation where you can't get a word in, but you don't mind because the other person is so captivating? Well, Carnegie reveals that the secret to great conversations is listening. Sounds simple, right? But it's often overlooked. Let the other person speak and you'll be amazed at how they'll open up to you. Actionable takeaways. Be a great listener. Ask people about themselves and let them speak freely. People naturally gravitate toward those who listen and show genuine curiosity. Chapter 5. How to interest people. Want to capture someone's attention instantly? Focus on what they care about. If you want someone to be engaged in a conversation, talk about what interests them. Carnegie emphasizes that framing your ideas around others' passions makes them more likely to listen and engage with you. Actionable takeaways. Frame your conversation in terms of the other person's interests. Tailor your message so it appeals directly to what matters to them. Part 2. 6 Ways to Make People Like You. Chapter 6. Do this and you'll be welcome anywhere. There's one small thing you can do to instantly become more approachable. Smile. Carnegie shares the simple yet profound truth that a smile can win over any room. It's universally understood and disarms even the most hardened people. A genuine smile makes you appear warmer, more friendly, and approachable. Actionable takeaways. Flash a smile. People can feel it even when you're not speaking. A warm, sincere smile can break barriers and create instant rapport. Chapter 7. A simple way to make a good first impression. You've probably heard that first impressions matter. But what if we told you that one of the best ways to make a lasting impression is by remembering someone's name? Carnegie suggests that people love hearing their own name. It's music to their ears. When you remember and use it, you're instantly building a connection. Actionable takeaways. Make it a point to remember names. It shows respect and creates a personal bond. Use a person's name in conversation. It's a simple trick that can make a world of difference. Chapter 8. An easy way to become a good conversationalist. Repeated focus on listening. Remember when we talked about being a great conversationalist? Well, it all comes back to listening. People love talking about themselves, so the more you encourage them to do so, the more they'll like you. It's like a win-win. When you listen well, you make the other person feel valued and understood, and that's the foundation of any meaningful connection. Actionable takeaways. Encourage people to share their thoughts and stories. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Engage actively and listen with intent. Chapter 9. How to get cooperation. Carnegie reveals a powerful truth. When you begin with praise, people are more likely to cooperate with you. Before you ask someone to change their behavior, highlight what they're already doing right. It softens the delivery of your feedback and makes the person more receptive to your suggestions. Actionable takeaways. Start with praise before offering advice or criticism. People are more open to change when they feel recognized for their efforts. Chapter 10. A formula that will work wonders for you. Want to get someone to do something without force? Ask questions that lead them to the answer on their own. Instead of telling people what to do, ask questions that guide them to reach the conclusion you want. This approach gives them the sense of control, and they're more likely to act on it. Actionable takeaways. Instead of giving orders, ask questions that guide others to find their own solutions. This tactic encourages cooperation without making anyone feel controlled. Chapter 11. What everybody wants. Everyone wants to feel appreciated, and Carnegie hones in on this truth. He stresses that people's deepest desire is to be recognized for their worth. A sincere compliment, a word of appreciation, or a simple acknowledgement of someone's efforts can go a long way in building goodwill and trust. Actionable takeaways. Give sincere, thoughtful compliments. Make others feel appreciated. Recognition is a powerful motivator. People are more likely to respond positively when they feel valued. Chapter 12. The Secret of Socrates. Carnegie introduces the Socratic method, which is all about asking questions that lead others to their own conclusions. By guiding people to discover answers themselves, you empower them, creating a sense of ownership over the decision. This method encourages cooperation and strengthens relationships. Actionable takeaways. Use the Socratic method. Ask guiding questions that lead others to reflect on their own decisions. Empower people to discover solutions themselves, and they'll be more likely to act on them. Part 3. How to win people to your way of thinking. Chapter 13. A sure way of making enemies, and how to avoid it. In this chapter, Dale Carnegie reveals one of the fastest ways to sour relationships: arguing. He argues that no one ever truly wins an argument. Instead, it triggers defensiveness and breeds resentment. Instead of clashing heads, Carnegie suggests a far more effective approach: seek common ground. By focusing on shared interests and mutual understanding, you can build rapport, not walls. Key takeaways. Arguing rarely ends well. It invites defensiveness, resentment, and distance. Instead of trying to win a debate, focus on finding areas of agreement to foster connection. The goal isn't to prove you're right, but to maintain and strengthen your relationships. Chapter 14. A formula that will work wonders for you. Influencing through questions. Carnegie digs deeper into the art of persuasion, and this time the spotlight is on questions. He shows how the right question, asked in the right way, can open doors to cooperation and collaboration without conflict. By guiding others to draw their own conclusions, you create an environment where they feel empowered and more inclined to agree with you. Key takeaways. Asking thoughtful, reflective questions invites collaboration and strengthens decision-making. When you let others feel in control of their choices, they're more likely to align with your perspective. This approach builds trust, laying the foundation for deeper influence and connection. Chapter 15. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. One of the most powerful persuasion techniques. Letting others believe the idea was theirs all along. Carnegie emphasizes that people are far more likely to commit to a plan or decision if they feel ownership over it. By subtly planting the seed and giving others credit for the idea, you ignite enthusiasm and a deeper sense of involvement. Key takeaways. Make others feel the idea is theirs, and watch their enthusiasm and commitment grow. People are naturally more dedicated to ideas they believe they created. True influence lies in making others feel valued and included in the process. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Chapter 16. If you must find fault, this is the way to begin. In this chapter, Carnegie reveals a timeless secret to effective feedback. Begin with praise. It's not about ignoring flaws, but about ensuring your critique doesn't back someone into a corner. By first acknowledging what the person has done right, you open their hearts to improvement. Only then should you gently offer areas for growth, framing your feedback in a way that motivates change without bruising pride. Key takeaways. Start with sincere praise to build rapport and trust. Present criticism in a way that uplifts rather than deflates. Your goal is growth, not tearing someone down. Chapter 17. How to criticize and not be hated for it. Continuing from the last chapter, Carnegie dives deeper into the art of criticism. It's not about the message, but the delivery. When you focus on the action rather than the person, your feedback becomes a tool for improvement, not a personal attack. By using tact and humility, you not only prevent resentment, but create a space for genuine change. Key takeaways. Criticize behaviors, not personalities. Diplomacy and tact can turn even the harshest feedback into a constructive conversation. Help the other person see the way forward by offering solutions, not just problems. Chapter 18. Talk about your own mistakes. First, here's a powerful way to disarm defensiveness. Show vulnerability. Carnegie advises sharing your own mistakes before offering advice. This creates a bond between you and the other person, turning potential criticism into a shared learning experience. When you own your flaws, it's easier for others to accept their own and your feedback. Key takeaways. Lead with humility by admitting your own missteps. Showing vulnerability makes feedback feel more like a partnership. When you share your mistakes, you build trust and ease the path to improvement. Chapter 19. No one likes to take orders. No one likes to feel bossed around, and Carnegie knows it. Rather than issuing orders, he suggests a subtle approach. Guide, don't command. By posing thoughtful questions or offering gentle suggestions, you make others feel like they're driving the solution, which naturally leads to more engagement and initiative. Key takeaways. Replace direct commands with collaborative questions or suggestions. People respond better when they feel they're in control of their choices. Leadership is about guiding, not dictating. Chapter 20. Let the other person save face. Carnegie stresses one of the most human principles of leadership: dignity. When people make mistakes, they're more likely to change if they don't feel humiliated. By giving them a way to redeem themselves, you preserve their self-respect and strengthen your relationship. A respectful approach to failure fosters trust and growth. Key takeaways. Preserve dignity and self-respect, especially in tough moments. Allow others the chance to save face even when they falter. Respect and compassion make feedback feel safe and encouraging. Chapter 21. How to spur people on to success. Motivation isn't about pointing out failures, it's about recognizing progress. Carnegie shows us how to ignite enthusiasm in others by celebrating their efforts and encouraging their successes. When you focus on their strengths and applaud their achievements, no matter how small, you light the fire for continued growth and success. Key takeaways. Motivation thrives when you acknowledge effort and progress. Celebrate even the small wins to keep spirits high. Genuine praise builds confidence and drives success. Chapter 22. Give a dog a good name. Reputation is a powerful motivator. Carnegie teaches us that when you give someone a positive label, such as a reputation for excellence, you inspire them to live up to it. The expectation you set becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, encouraging people to rise to the occasion and exceed even their own expectations. Key takeaways. People often live up to the positive reputations others give them. Praise and recognition can inspire growth and excellence. Assigning a positive reputation motivates others to embody those qualities. Chapter 23. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Feeling overwhelmed by the task ahead can paralyze us. Carnegie shows us how to make improvement feel attainable by breaking down complex issues into manageable, actionable steps. When you make the process of change seem easy and within reach, you give others the confidence to take that first step towards success. Key takeaways. Frame challenges in a way that makes them seem achievable. Break tasks down into smaller, manageable actions. Encourage confidence by showing that change is possible and within reach. Chapter 24. Making people glad to do what you want. In the final chapter, Carnegie shares the secret to influence: mutual benefit. Instead of demanding actions, focus on how your requests align with the other person's interests. When people feel that their needs are being considered and their actions will bring them something of value, they'll gladly cooperate, turning your requests into a win-win scenario. Key takeaways. Frame your requests in a way that highlights the benefits for others. When mutual interests align, cooperation feels natural. Influence is about creating a sense of shared gain and purpose. Conclusion. Influence through empathy and respect. In How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie offers timeless strategies that help us build meaningful relationships, win others over, and influence them in positive, respectful ways. The essence of his advice is simple yet powerful. Treat others with respect, be genuinely interested in them, and make them feel important. By embracing these principles, you unlock the ability to connect deeply with people, whether in personal or professional settings. Carnegie's approach isn't about manipulation or trickery. It's about creating authentic rapport and understanding. By listening actively, showing empathy, admitting mistakes, and empowering others, we build trust and create a natural flow of cooperation. His techniques, like asking thoughtful questions or acknowledging others' value, lead to lasting connections where both parties feel heard and respected. Ultimately, the book teaches that true influence comes from genuine kindness, empathy, and respect for others. By incorporating these lessons into daily interactions, we not only win people to our way of thinking, but also foster collaboration and create a positive environment for growth and success. Carnegie's timeless wisdom is a powerful reminder that the best way to influence others is to first understand and care for them.